beat the Lions, another whole team, but they've been in lower division for a long time. 3-1. FC Abuja. Wow.
The Lions have consistently. This is a major fixture in the Challenge Cup in the days.
Cashless losing 3-0.
3-0. That's an Abuja derby.
How do they pay their sign-on fees? Cashless into their accounts.
Division D, we have Doma United FC losing 1-0 to UB Desert, another traditional, another team who got to the Challenge Cup in the past. Kuje FC beat Flash Flamingos 4-0. Makwada United, another old team. They've been in lower division. They never got to the top flight before. So they beat Yama Light of Gombe. They played a 3-3 with Yarma Light. Yeah, Young Elephant beating Gombe Warriors 3-1. While the game between Jute FC and Court of Appeal was a walkover.
Jute walked over. They were walked over. And that's an unfortunate story around Jute. At one time they were in the Globe Premier League.
I don't know why, but if the
University Teaching Hospital, just University Teaching Hospital,
they folded up, like mentioned on that
show. It was the story.
It was widely reported.
Yeah.
So why are they still being walked over?
But they played only one game. They didn't show up for this game.
They didn't show up. That's the only game they played in the league. All right, we'll find out more about it. But the last story we had about Jude was that they wanted to pull out of football and do something else. But that's the story. We walked over in the first game, and it's a game that's supposed to be at home. I think it says a lot about their willingness to really continue to play in the nationwide league. All right, let's cross quickly before we go on a break and make a switch and update you with UEFA Champions League football that's currently going on. About now, some of the games are ending. First half of the games, 2 games, remember, will be played today.
Just one game, actually.
One game already decided. I beg your pardon. One game already decided. Only one game is currently going on as we speak. And guess what? United are a goal down. It was a deflected shot, but it was Dominguez, I'm told, scored the only goal for Olympiacos so far. Still first half of that game. And then the game that is already concluded, early kickoff, Zenit St. Petersburg losing 2-4 to Borussia Dortmund, continuing the tradition of away teams being dominant in the round of 16. So it's only Olympiacos now that is looking good as the home team.
For the next 5 minutes.
There's also some Nigerian interest in that tie. There's a Michael Olaiton who plays
number 99
who
for
plays
Olympiacos.
So you can keep your eye on that player if you're not interested in Manchester United.
At least you can keep your eyes on Michael Olaiton. He was a member of Nigeria's under-20 squad to the last FIFA Under-20 World Cup that held last year in Turkey. Decent player. Is right there, jersey number 99 for Olympiacos. So you can monitor how well he's playing and see if he's one for the future for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. There will be games tomorrow as well. Let's get you up to speed with the fixtures for matches to be played tomorrow. Tomorrow you're going to be having Schalke 04. They'll be hosting Real Madrid. And the game that everybody's been talking about for tomorrow is Galatasaray of Turkey against Jose Mourinho's Chelsea. Once again, the fixtures for tomorrow, Schalke 04 against Real Madrid and Galatasaray against Chelsea. All right. Gentlemen, before we go,
interesting, Galatasaray coached by Roberto Mancini.
Mancini against, a whole lot of games, matchups tomorrow. Mancini, Mourinho, Drogba, Terry. You can pick out all of those fixtures.
Drogba mirrored in former Chelsea jersey and new Galatasaray jersey.
So a whole lot. But gentlemen, let's talk very briefly about Mourinho. Okay, let's leave that. Yemi Adebayo will be coming in later on. We'll talk about that later on. Let's just bring you highlights of the game that was concluded earlier on today in the UEFA Champions League. Zenit losing 2-4 at home to Borussia Dortmund. I think, gentlemen, it's done and dusted.
Zenit,
a lot of games. All the games.
The way goes will count seriously against
4-2.
Zenit.
All the games concluded so far in the round of 16 for me, I think, are done and dusted. PSG 4-0 away over Leverkusen.
Don't let Arsenal fans hear you.
Arsenal 0-2.
Don't let Manchester City fans hear you.
City 0-2 to Barcelona.
Don't let Arsenal fans hear you. But City fans, they can Disney say, okay, that game. Arsenal fans will agree with you.
They will agree with you. All right, let's bring you highlights of that game that was played earlier on today. Zenit losing at home 2-4 to Dortmund. We'll come back for more on Sports Tonight.
Royce has kept his balance under pressure, and Borussia Dortmund have an away goal thanks to Henrik Mkhitaryan. Just the start that Dortmund wanted. Goes Kreuzes, Royce into second. Zenit are falling apart in the opening 5 minutes here.
Well, Crescito is all over the place.
He has just not turned up at this stadium tonight. This is Hulk. Fed back through towards Rondon, and Hulk away from Weidenfeller, away by Schmelzer. Rondon denied by the post. Shatov. They finally force a way through, and everything changes. Lewandowski. Peace check on the outside. This is Lewandowski, sorts his feet out and scores, of course. You wouldn't expect anything else. Well, that's a big worry when Lewandowski hasn't scored. His team are 2-0 up. You expect an opportunity is going to come his way. Hulk, who's missed all 3 penalties so far this season, steps up now and delivers now, just when they needed it most. No goalkeeper in the world stops that. That is absolutely stunning from the spot. There's Royce. Now it's Lewandowski. They've done it again. Within minutes, Borussia Dortmund hit back and break Zenit hearts. You never learn your lesson. They've switched off yet again. Golden rule: when you get back in a game, you score yourself a goal, you switch yourself on, you concentrate 100%, you make it so difficult for the opposition to get possession of the ball, to get into areas, to punish you. Far too easy yet again. And now, having been back in the match, euphoria around the ground, they're down and out again. I mean, they lose possession there, and it's that man again, Timoshuk, who just loses possession. Clinical finish from Lewandowski across the goalkeeper. Textbook, great first touch, brilliant.
All right,
finish.
so that was how it ended. Borussia Dortmund losing finalists last year, looking good again for the next round of the UEFA Champions League. We've made another switch, and Yemi Adebayo has joined us now. And Yemi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Let's welcome you. Let me just get your reaction very quickly. That's the first game concluded today. The second game right now at halftime, United are down by a goal to Olympiacos.
Well, I think they try to continue. I think the away teams would, get victory.
So you think United can still come back into the
Yeah, they're fighting hard. The Olympiacos coach said the pressure was going to be on United. It shows, but I think they still have the experience in the ranks to get the results.
All right, so we'll talk about that later on. But let's come now. Still talking about UEFA Champions League. We told you 2 big games tomorrow. Chelsea against Galatasaray. But we're talking about the Chelsea coach now. He's in the news for maybe all the wrong reasons. It was the French professor that was first a specialist in failure. Now, Mourinho has turned on his own team and is saying a lot of things about his own team. Whether he was saying it off camera, he was saying it lightheartedly, he was saying it off record or not, the fact of the case is that it was captured on camera, and there are allegations and counter-allegations, accusations and counter-accusations that Mourinho knew what he was doing when he was saying it. But I'm going to ask you something before we go to Mourinho and listen to his clarification. Mourinho says he was just speaking off camera. I mean, it was a private discussion, but does it? I mean, it's not the issue of whether it's private or not private now. The issue is, what were the intentions? Are they the true reflection of what is going through Mourinho's mind about his strikers, particularly Eto'o and the Torres and the other guys?
It's going to be hard because of the money. Because it's going to be hard
to look these guys in the face
to know the real intention. But of course, well, let me take a quote from the good book. It says, "Even a fool, when he keeps his mouth shut, is thought to be wise." The guy talks too much and gets himself
in all kinds of trouble.
In all kinds of trouble. Whether this was deliberate or not, I don't know. It's very hard for me to say if Jose is up to his tricks again. It could be. It could be. Well, but I think being furious to me looks like it was taken out of his hands. And you see, the question is whether or not that was how he felt about his players. Jose is always known to be somebody that takes care of his players, doesn't berate them, doesn't let them down, especially in public. And so, for me, I think he said those things. I think it was just meant to be light-hearted. It wasn't
really serious
for the press. It wasn't.
I disagree. I think the words
he spoke exactly what he feels about his players. I mean, there's also, let me take also another quote from another good book. It's not good. From the, it's not as the book of Abundance of the Heart. It's not as the Abundance of the Heart. But this one is also another good book, known as the Yoruba Book of Common Sense. It's true. It is what we say.